Hi, Janelle Schaefer here with Sheep Hill Herbs. Welcome to my channel. I'm really happy that you have found me. I'm a community herbalist and I'm also an artist. And both of these things are passions of mine, herbs and plants and art, being an artistic, creative person. And both areas, the herbal area, the plant area, nature, and art have been so instrumental in healing and growth and transformation in my life that this video is going to incorporate both of those aspects. So I'm going to talk to you today about my book that I wrote 2 years ago, 2 to 3, maybe 3 years ago. And it is an art journaling exercise book that you can do actual activities. It is 30-some pages, has pictures, and it has different kinds of art lessons that you follow along with. And you do not have to be an artist to do these lessons. So we're going to get started with that in just a moment. Okay, so if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and then the bell notification button. That will let you know when I make new videos. And also hit the like button and then put a comment down below. Are you an artist? Are you an herbalist? Do you like art? Do you like herbs? Comment down below. And I say all of this because interaction with this channel will help the channel grow. Okay, so as I promised, I'm going to talk to you today about my book. It is called Mommy and Me Art Journaling Activities for Love and Serenity. And this is not a large book. It is, like I said, a workbook. And it was comprised of art journaling activities that I did in an art journal. So here is one of my art journals. And if you are not aware of some of my earlier videos, if you go back and scroll down through my videos that I have made, my earliest videos were art videos only. So just to give you a little background, I went to school 20 years ago to be an artist, an anthropologist, and I also knew I wanted to study herbs. So I kind of did all three things. And I buried the artistic part of me for at least a good decade while I was having children. And while I was trying to heal from something with herbs and having some of these emotional and physical problems that came up through pregnancies and just stressors of life, I found that I really was craving this artistic side of me that I had buried deep down and I had not let surface since kids and responsibilities came into play. So I took a break from pursuing or focusing on just nutrition and herbs in my main focus. And I just became this creative person. And for a couple of years, I just poured out myself into art journals and paintings and drawings and teaching art classes and playing music and just everything I could creative-wise. And it was so healing and so transformative. So through that process, I was really prolific. And I put together numerous art journals, which were my sketches and ideas and just like, you know, cut and paste things, scribbles. It wasn't like to be this perfected thing, but I put it together and I thought, you know, these lessons are great and I'm going to incorporate them into my classes and I can incorporate them into my children's classes because I teach them a lot. So I self-published this book and it comprises of what is in my art journals. So I'll show you some examples. Okay, so I'm just opening up to this page right here. On this side, this was just playing around with watercolor and doing some techniques with salt and alcohol spray. And I'm looking here, so my eyes are not looking at you. And then crayon resist. And then this is kind of more like the activities that are in my book, where you're taking images and you're just cutting and pasting, and like I would write things like, I am grateful, I am an artist, I am a traveler, and I would just put images and words. And the important thing, and I learned this from Jake Ducey, and he's awesome. If you do not subscribe to his channel, he's awesome. When you're trying to change your thoughts and the way your body is responding to those thoughts, using visualization, and for some people they're good at visualizing in their head, but for me, I really need to see a visual with pictures and words and put it down on paper. So visualizing with pictures and cementing those feelings with the visual picture is what makes the lasting change. So if you want to make lasting change in your life, if you want to kind of open up as an artist and a creative person, my book is just perfect for that, my workbook. So going into here, let me just pick a very simple lesson. This lesson is just a doodle activity. And pretty much you take your art journal and you're just doodling. Now, when I was young, I used to just doodle, like I'd be on the old phone that we had, not cell phones, that was hooked up to the wall. So you couldn't move around and do anything. And I would sit there and doodle if I was talking to someone. This was probably my teenage years, talking to someone on the phone. So doodling is like, you're not drawing to do something specific or to be exact. It's just free form doodle. Just doodle, just get it out there. And it doesn't have to be perfect by any means. So this is an example of one of my doodles. And I started with the heart, and then I went out from there, and then I came back in and I did colored pencils. And believe it or not, this is like super, super relaxing. And you can play music while you do this, and you can do this with your kids. You can give activities for them to do to open their creative minds, because I think we can all agree that we have to limit. Okay, so this is another one of my activities, and it's called a travel activity. I'm just gonna hold this up. This is a page from my journal, and I put places that I would like to travel. Now, I love to travel, and I think more than ever before, this might be something you want to do because of all of the travel restrictions. And I know for me, I just started getting this like gripping fear of like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be able to travel again. So we create the world that we want. We create it in our minds. We live in the vibrancy and attract what we put out. So this travel experience, I haven't gone here yet. This is Iceland, and this is England and Wales and Scotland. These are places that I wanted to travel to. So I made this art journal page, and just playing with it, putting these visuals into my mind and cementing it into my subconscious. So you might want to do that. You might want to play around with places you want to go and places you want to see, and just kind of like visualize and imagine and go beyond what we see in our eyes or hear in the news. What's transcend what we are being told or what we think we might not be able to do. Okay, so thank you so much for hanging around to the end of my video. This book is on my website, and it will be linked down below. You can get this on my website signed. It is also on Amazon for a lesser cost, and I will link that as well. You can go to Amazon and purchase it. And I have other offerings on my website. I have a whole art making course. It's called Healing the Artist Within. It's a course designed for 5 weeks of doing activities more in depth than this art journaling book is. And that's if you really want to like open up your creative self. So thank you again for coming to my channel, watching my videos, and come back again soon.